Good afternoon. My name is Veronica Guzman. I'm one of the co-managers for company D. Leos, along with Haley Chambliss and Johnny T., whom you also hear from later on in this presentation. Our strategic vision is to tailor our footwear to unique preferences of customers by providing an array of models. Moreover, we intend to improve and enhance the quality of the footwear available to consumers. We believe in unifying the market by not differentiating between regions. As a company, we feel that there isn't enough different types of footwear available. Therefore, we created as many different types as possible. With the creation of the multiple styles, we don't want our footwear to be of lesser quality. Therefore, we promise to deliver a higher standard than the industry. We want our name to carry the same value regardless of what region our consumer is in. Maintaining the same standards and ratings throughout all regions meant that our customers could visit any branch and still purchase the same quality and models of shoes. In order to achieve this vision, we encompass several strategies throughout the years for both branded production and private label. In branded production, our main focus was to utilize a focused differentiation strategy. We were able to tap into our market niche by concentrating on two factors. The first element our team focused on was the number of models. Over the years, we increased our model availability. We plan to be the leader in the model availability in the market, so we plan not to be overtaken by our competitor. Our intention for creating a broad product line, was in hopes to appeal to consumers to provide tailored footwear unique to their preference. The second component was incorporating a higher SQ rating. With the exception of Team C, we maintain a higher or comparable SQ rating than all other competitors in the region. This will be discussed more in future slides. In order to stay competitive with our teams, we had to adjust our prices to adequately survive in the branded segment. Some of the factors that influenced our price mix are COGS, distribution gap, and celebrity appeal. Upgrading the plant facilities to make our production more efficient was another one of our focuses. Since we are focusing on the broad number of models, our niche increases the reject rate and decreases the profit margin. To do this, we purchased Upgrade Option D in year 11 for North America. Combined with other minor changes, our worker productivity actually increased 27% from 4,159 pairs per worker per year in 2011 to 5,287 in 2012. In the Asian Pacific plant, Option A was purchased in 2011. Although our rejection rate wasn't reduced by 50%, factors such as increasing our model availability and overtime had played a role. The same option was purchased for North America plant in 2012. In the year 2015, we used the advice from the Player's Guide and decided to accommodate the added cost per pair associated with having a broad production line in Asia Pacific region by purchasing Option B. We wanted to maintain a relatively low employee turnover rate. In order to do so, we maintained a 4% increase in annual base wages from 2011 to 2015 for the North America plant and 3% for the Asia Pacific plant. In 2015, for the North America plant, we decreased the change in annual base wages to 2%. This was to try to combat the high cost of goods sold we had for our production. Higher wages made the employees more efficient and productive. Thus, we could have hired fewer human resources. Another strategy we maintained throughout the whole game was reflected in all segments was our intention of trying to keep our debt down. In year 2011, not really knowing how the market was going to turn, we decided to take $12,000 worth of loans. Once results were in and we immediately found our niche, it was easy to see that we weren't in any need of additional funds. We immediately began paying back our loans early. We focused on the long terms and the high interest rates, and then began paying the smaller ones off. We were the first company to pay back long-term debt by 2013. Furthermore, we were able to decrease our debt to asset ratio and increase the default risk ratio. In year 2012, we were one of two companies to have a low default risk. We had fewer strategies for private label. One being, rather than selling stock in all 4 regions, we focused on domestic plant locations to eliminate currency risk. Towards the end of the game, we weren't able to produce enough in the wholesale and internet segment. By this time, Team B had grabbed a higher market share, and we felt we weren't able to compete. As with the branded production, we wanted to create a superior shoe. However, because this was a private label, we felt it wasn't necessary to increase the SQ rating as high. We kept our price constant at $35 throughout all years of participation. Private label was our main focus. As I stated earlier, in the later years of the game, we decided it more efficient if we removed ourselves from the market. If we were using overtime to produce the pairs sold in the segment, and it was not conducive to our private line. I'll now pass on to Haley to discuss the graphs.
Okay, for annual total revenues from the years 2010 to 2015, we successfully maintained the growth of revenue. In year 2016, we had our first decrease. The increases from years 2011 and 12 were due to domination of our market niche in combination with accurate pricing. In year 2012, we did not have any threats in our niche. Team C began entering our niche market in year 2013, leaving the following year. In year 2014, we had 2 new competitors. Team F began matching our strategy, which caused our sales to slow down. In year 16, our shortfall was due to exchange rate impact on revenues from Latin American region. For earnings per share, we maintained the growth through 2010 to 2015, and we had our decrease in 2016. It decreased back down almost to our earnings per share amount in year 12, where we peaked out of all the other teams. In 2012, we mastered our niche, and our earnings per share was 5.91, more than double our earnings per share in year 10, which was 2.50. We had a tiny drop in 14, we increased again in 15, then decreased again in 2016, when we hit our lowest amount of market share. So we were consistently inconsistent with our earnings per share. For our global market share, we had a steady increase from 2010 to 2012, where we hit our peak. Our global market share was 10.1%. Then we had a steady decline until 2016. Other groups, C and F, began entering our market, and it was difficult to regain control of it. We hit our lowest global market share in 2016, which was only 7.1%. As we have stated, we focus on our narrow market. Since we did not aim to claim or maintain the percentage market share, we allocated our cash to reduce our debt and repurchase our stock. We focused on retaining customers' loyalty, and the declining global market share was due to our production remained unchanged, while the global market grew. For stock price, we had a steady increase until our spike again in year 2012. It was $124.99. Then we hit that steady decline until 2016. We had the highest stock price out of all other teams in years 12 and 13. In year 16, our stock price decreased roughly 25% from what it was in 15. This trend correlated greatly with our global market share trend. For strategic planning exercise year 11, since we did not have enough research on our competitors, we decided to enter our market niche, and we targeted to produce 250 models and have the SQ rating as 7. We wanted to go with a more individualistic marketing approach, and we offered a higher rebate on our products rather than increasing our advertising expense. To increase the internet segment sales, we offered free shipping while increasing the price to ensure the wholesale segment attractiveness. We started to bid on celebrities, and we got Oprah Beyonce because she was the medium contract period, and she had the highest consumer appeal in comparison to the other celebrities. Our market niche is the models offered. We wanted to make the plant and workers more efficient since we were offering so many different models of shoes. So we increased the worker compensation incentives and got them the best practice training to reduce the pairs of rejected rates. Now I'm going to pass it on to Jonathan.
And onto the year 12 and 13, we have seen the other competitor managing styles, and we have had a glimpse on their approach to the market. Since we were the only group to tap into broad production, we determined to dominate the niche immediately. Thus, we increased the number of models by 350, with the same SQ rating. These 2 years turned out to be our best years regarding growth in the company. We factored in price distribution correlation adjustment to factor in the gap in the distribution. We adjusted the price to secure the minimum stockouts in each region. In the year 13, we only had one market with a stockout. However, we did not sell off all of our pairs in that year. We kept increasing the retail outlet utilized to boost the sales. Since we got our celebrity appeal, we increased the advertising expense on Asia and Latin America to fill the appeal gap. The increased number of models also raised our reject cost. Thus, we had the upgrades on North America plans. And we did not buy the upgrades on Asia Pacific plans because its cost was incomparable to the saving. We also felt that our private label segment was not secure enough to decide to increase the SQ rating and keep the price. We finished paying off our debts in the year 13, which results the A+ credit rating. And moving on to the year 14 and 15, we noticed the Group C tailing our models offered in the year 13. Thus, we maximized our models offered to ensure that we still dominate the niche market. Group C was leading in the SQ rating by the end of the year 13. Although we dominated in the models offered niche, we felt that we should reduce the threats of the Group C and level our SQ rating in the year 14 and increase it again in the year 15 to 9. We showed that we focus on the narrow market, and we are also aware that the company C is leaving our niche market and the Group F is trying to reach our niche. Thus, we decided to have a lower wholesale price than Group F. We realized that the internet segment results in a higher margin than the wholesale segment. We reduced the price on the internet segment to gain higher revenues. Also, we increased our retail support to improve the sales in North America and Latin America. It turned out that the retail support gives the highest impact on our wholesale segment sales. Another addition to the production upgrades is on Asia Pacific plans. We upgrade the Asia Pacific plans to reduce the production run setup by 50% because it shows the highest saving than the other option. We also decided to get another celebrity this year. We think that celebrity appeals is more efficient than increasing advertising expense because the celebrity affects all regions. And since this is the last round of the BSG games, the first thing we realized that the private label in North America did not sell last year's. Thus, we allocated all of our private label production to branded production. We carefully crafted our production mix to have a lower cost than before. We were forced to lower our SQ rating in order to survive during the year. We were at the peak in the previous years on revenue, but struggling on the ROE and EPS. In year 16, we tried to compete with all the groups and have the delivery time reduced to 2 weeks. As a result, we had the highest demand on North and Latin America and Asia Pacific. We marked our price to high for the European market. Lastly, the exchange risk on our distribution is very high since we do not have any other plants outside Asia and North America. We distributed the shares to result the least impact on exchange rate movement. We already bought a couple thousand shares to improve, but we decided to buy more shares to ensure that we meet the investor expectation in these years. And we think that Group F is the closest competitor during these 6 years because Group F has the closest ranking to us. In the first half of the game, the Group F chose to focus on the internet segment rather than the wholesale and private labels. Group F also pursued a more aggressive marketing tactics. They were increasing the rebate over and the advertising expense. Group F decided to have 2-week delivery time, which was our company weakness the whole period. One of their mistakes is that they would rather having an increasing trend than to fluctuate the price to the industry average. They also focused on 2 regions for private label segment. Our company succeeded in tapping the market niche first, while the company F was securing their position by playing safely in the first half of the game. Since we were owning our market niche until the year 14, we did not encourage any sales problems. However, the company F started pursuing our strategy in the year 14 until the year 16. And at that time, we noticed that we were not alone in our niche market and started reducing the price in the shoes. In the end, we succeeded securing our market niche. In conclusion, Group F failed to establish their market niche and price adjustment. They have been successful with their aggressive marketing efforts and the low-price internet segment in their first half of the game. But they withdrew from their niche and moved to ours. And I will pass to Veronica.
The lessons we learned were defending the market niche at all times. Because our main strategy was creating a niche in a broad production line, we should have defended it a little bit harder. With Team F closely matching our strategy, a way to fight back would have been lowering our operating expenses. We adjusted our wholesale prices below Group F towards the end. If we would have had more time to play the game, we would have been able to force them out of the niche and be able to sustain our market share. Operating at a minimum expense and cost, we feel that our operating cost is another one of our weaknesses. We could have tried to reduce our employee expenses along with reducing or eliminating overtime in production. Although we have a lower debt to asset ratio and a higher default risk ratio, which is good, this only helped us if we were intending to secure a loan or to build capacity. To combat the exchange rate risk, we should have opened up a plant in each region. This would have reduced the risk and helped stabilize our operating costs. The private label was not our niche, and we could have been better productive in the branded production. Group B was already creating their niche in the private label around 2013. This should have alerted us to get out. We all agree that our main weakness was not adding another plant in all regions. This would have decreased our currency exchange risk and decreased our worker overtime expense. Adding another plant would have justified our strategy to reduce our debt. With the lower interest rate, we would have been able to obtain a loan at a better rate. This concludes our presentation for Team D Leos.